Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. Hi everybody, Tobias here, and we're looking at the Rough Rider Pandora Swirl this time. I picked up one knife in the series so far. I know I'm going to pick up a second one. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy every knife in the series or not. Matter of fact, I doubt that I will be picking up every knife in the series, and there's a couple reasons for that. But I'll tell you what, that reason is not because of the build quality of the knife. Any case, let's open up the box and see what I got here. This one is the RR2650. Right now on the SMKW website, the only two knives that actually have photos of the knives are the Trapper and the Razor. And this is neither of those. This is the Deer Slayer, or the large clasp knife, if you want to call it that. This knife was known as a Bulldog, I think, by W.R. Case & Son. And it is a big knife. Matter of fact, well, let's get the box out of the way, even though the box art is pretty cool on this. I do like the box art. Not a big fan of the really big oversized boxes, though I've said that in the past. But in any case, we can see here the size of this knife is pretty big. Comes right in at 5.5 or so, maybe a little bit more than that, around 5 5/8, something like that. And the overall size of the knife is pretty magnificent as well. You can see here that it tops 9.5 inches overall. Blade length comes in pretty long too, over 4 inches on the blade length, with a cutting edge that is right around 3 3/4 or so. So it is a big knife, very big knife, and it is basically a style of folding hunter. And comes in 440A stainless steel, mirror polished, as you can tell there. Well, no blade etches going on, no Pandora Swirl stuff going on there. And the cool thing also is there is no shield to interrupt the beauty of the handle. And as for the beauty of the handle, that is going to be one of those things that is in the eye of the beholder. What we're talking about here is a blue acrylic, a swirly blue acrylic, and then brown Burl Wood going on, some type of Burl Wood. And I still have mixed feelings about it, but I will tell you that the quality of the build is excellent. You can kind of feel a little bit of a transition from the wood to the acrylic, but I mean, it is a smooth transition. The pins are also well set, and they're very smooth into there too. So the build quality is excellent. You can see here there's no gapping going on. You've got the brass liners, stainless steel back spring, and the nickel silver bolsters with the single ring going on. All of that is also reminiscent of the older Deer Slayers that Rough Rider has made in the past. There is a big difference between the new Deer Slayer and the old Deer Slayer. Two minor differences, actually. First, if you notice here, there is no swedge on the blade. The new one has a swedge on the blade, and it is nicely executed. And then the other thing the new one has is a very pronounced half stop. You can hear it snap into the place. Hear that? And when we close it, boom and boom. You can drop that safely because it's got a pretty good kick going on. It is not making any kind of a connection with the back spring. Yeah, double check. Yeah, no connection with the back spring whatsoever when you drop that blade. But if you want to close it slowly, you can, but it is a very tight spring. You can see it right there. The older knives has the lazy half stop, so it doesn't pop to that half, but you can hear it lock up really good. These have a strong back spring. And they are an impressive looking knife. These are also sometimes called a back pocket knife. Okay, let's get back to the actual Pandora Swirl here and the handle. I mean, you can see it is held in place by 4 pins on either side, plus the pin for the back spring. So it is well pinned. The transition from the from the wood to the acrylic is extremely smooth. It's all very nice. It's really pretty cool. You can, there's a little bit of an edge right there, but it's not sharp or anything. It's not extremely thick on the handle. That looks like a gouge in there, just a minor little nip into the wood there. So, you know, not 100% sure if that's going to be an issue later or not. And if you notice, looking closely, you can see that it looks like there's some kind of bond going on between the wood and the acrylic. I suspect that basically the acrylic and the wood, you know, when this acrylic is all liquefied and everything, the wood is thrown into it, and then, you know, through pressure and heat treating and everything, it all gets smushed, and then bonds between it and everything, and then they come out with large chunks of this stuff, and then they have sliced it thin to make it into handles. And it does look like it's going to be pretty durable. I can't say 100% sure or not, but I do not expect to see a lot of fissures in between the acrylic and the wood. I think it is well bonded. Only time will tell on that. You do see the brass liners going on there, and you can see that it is nicely seated into there. There is no underlayment underneath the acrylic and wood. It is flush against the brass, which is the way I actually like it. As for the blade alignment, not 100% perfect, but it is far from hitting the side or anything. And if you notice there is a little bit of looseness. There's a little bit of play when the blade is closed. That is the same with the older knives too. You can see that there is a little bit of play in the blade when the knife is closed. However, it is not hitting the side. So that part is good. When you open it up, it is rock solid. There is no movement whatsoever in the blade once you get it open. And pushing down, you are going to have to push pretty hard. Now, this is one of those knives where if there was a reason to have like a mid-lock on this, you know, to have a locking blade, that would be pretty cool. I could see that as a nice addition to this. But classically, these have always been slip joints. Just a big old slip joint with a very strong back spring. The pull on the blade is probably about an 8 or so. It's stronger than what you would typically expect on a knife, but it's got a strong back spring. And if you notice, you can choke up a little bit. I would probably not do that, but you can do it if you want to. When the blade is closed, it acts a little bit like a copperhead. You do have a little bump there, so it's not going to snag too much in your pocket. These are usually carried in a back pocket or something like that, but you could definitely put it in a little pouch for the belt, or a belt, what do you call it? A belt sheath. I always think of those things more as a pouch than a sheath when it's talking about a folding knife. The real question on these is if you're going to like the way the handle looks or not. And I know for me, I'm a little, I'm unsure. I'm not sure how much I like it. I'm very much intrigued by it. I like the process of doing it. I'm not 100% sure if these are the color options that I would like, but I can see here from the box what they're looking at is like the ocean and the earth, which is kind of an interesting idea, you know. I wonder how this would look with like a wood that would be green dyed, and you'd have green and blue, or what this would look like in black and blue, or black and green, something like that. But in any case, the colors they settled on for this one is blue and brown, and it is definitely striking. It is something that is going to grab attention. I'll tell you that right now. The other knife in the series that I'm looking at picking up is the safety folder, and well, I don't have it yet, but I can show you what the safety folder will look like. My assumption was it was going to be the marble safety folder, and I posted on SMKW Army if someone could actually post a picture of the Pandora Swirl safety folder. And Brian Wilhoit of SMKW came through and did post it. And it is going to indeed be this knife, which is the marble safety folder, but it's now going to be a Rough Rider safety folder. And this is a really cool knife. This is the way it looks when it's closed. When you open it, you pull this blade out, the swing guard pops into place, and then you fold this down, and that drops into the handle. And you end up with a little bit of a finger choil up there in front of that lock, and this blade is in place. And that's what the new Pandora Swirl will be also. They have not posted pictures of it yet online. You close it, drop it, blade extends beyond it. So those are the two I know I'm going to have for sure. Will I get other ones beyond that? I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, there's a trapper. I think there's a jumbo trapper. There's a moose, and then there's a straight razor, and a couple other knives that are going to be in this series. And none of the ones that I just mentioned are ones that would totally appeal to me. What I would like to see is like a Big Daddy Barlow, obviously a large toothpick. I know that's not going to happen, but we can always hope for like a Big Daddy Barlow later in the future. But so far, there are quite a few big patterns in this, and that's really going to make this handle even more striking because they are on big knives. So I am pretty excited about it. It's just I'm not 100% sold on the patterns that they have so far mentioned in the Pandora Swirl. And I'm hoping that in the future they continue to do something like this and try some other color options with the Pandora Swirl. That would be kind of neat, especially if they do even more of the big old Deer Slayer. I really do like the Deer Slayer pattern, and that's really why I grabbed this as quickly as I did. In any case, with that said, I will let you go. Stick around for a few slides, and I'll talk to you again soon. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.